I'm getting ready to do a video competency evaluation because the court has decided that I'm mentally ill and I'm incompetent. I'm too incompetent to be able to make legal decisions for myself. So I now have to go see a psychiatrist, and I have to talk to him about whatever. I don't know. So we all should ask ourselves, why in the world would a court try so hard to declare someone incompetent when they generally don't want people to plead insanity? They want people to plead not insanity, but these people are trying to make me plead insanity like against my will. So why are they trying to do that for a guy that's so well spoken, so articulate, a guy that is pretty good at defending himself in court? Why would they do that? Well, the FBI wants them to do it. And why does the FBI want them to do it? Because if I'm telling the truth, if I'm not crazy, if West Texas was actually a meth lab, then this judge tried to kill me. I'm just saying. I mean, so when I did my hunger strike, that was 7 years ago or something like that. And that was in 2013, in the summer of 2013, I did a hunger strike. What happened? Robert Mueller got fired. Robert Mueller, the guy that got put in charge of the investigation of Trump, yeah, he got fired. Why did he get fired? Because there were people in the FBI that knew without a doubt that this guy Preston, who was all about free meth, that this guy Strife, who tried to get me to rob an armored car that was a Mexican mafia crip folk, was a cop. They knew this guy Bear, who had sex in front of me, was a cop. I mean, they know who's who. We don't. And they had to cover it up. And that's why they've gone so far to cover it up that they censored me. They censored my SoundCloud so that no one would find out that my music existed because they were afraid that I was too good at music. They were afraid I was going to get famous. They censored my Facebook communications. They changed the timestamps on my conversation to change when I did a hunger strike. They hacked my Facebook and changed the dates on my messages to make it look like I did the hunger strike back in 2012. There's no way I did it in 2012. And so they have gone to extremes to hide the fact that Robert Mueller got fired because of me. Why? Because these people were targeting children. They were targeting 7th grade kids. When I talk about being a 14-year-old and I'm sitting in this hotel room and this guy just starts beating the shit out of me, and then afterwards Bear tells me he just got out of prison. That's why he beat you up. That's why a 26-year-old beat up a 14-year-old? Yeah, he just got out of prison, that's why. That doesn't make sense. People don't just start randomly beating the shit out of a guy who's watching TV and then, bam, hit him in the side of the head. At some point, we have to ask ourselves, like, what is the FBI like? They're the type of person that will beat the shit out of a child, and the child will never know who the person was that beat him up. They're the type of person that will have sex in front of a 14-year-old, but they set me to have sex with, she was like 12? I was 14, she was 12. Her name was Autumn. And they set me up to have sex with this girl. Her sister had free oxycodone. So when I talk about this guy who is a homeless person, because they love being undercover. If you're undercover and you don't know, if I'm undercover, you don't know my name, you'll never catch me. So when we talk about this homeless person offering me dollar pills of heroin, that's pretty cheap. That's a price that a 14-year-old can afford. So like, why would that happen? Why would a 14-year-old also have a friend who's a nurse who has free oxycodone, and who has a little sister he can have sex with, and he can have, and they can have sex in the same room as this other person, like at the same time? Like, I'm just saying, like, personally, I don't care about the sex stuff because it's a lot. Like when you're a person that's outside of cultural norms, what you learn is I'd much rather have someone have sex in front of me than someone beat the shit out of me. And so these undercover cops beat the shit out of people. And I'm just saying, like, what are cops like? They tend to be Republican. They tend to be, like, very religious. They tend to be fighters, like they want to beat people up. Like, what are cops like? They're not Democrats. So when this Colorado Springs Police Department guy is on the internet saying, kill all the Black Lives Matter protesters, let's kill them all, and he doesn't even get fired. Why doesn't that guy get federal charges, but then the Democrat who's talking about killing Republican protesters, he's in prison. He's going to prison for a long time. He's getting federal charges. The guy in Colorado Springs, who's a cop, didn't even get fired. I mean, I'm just saying, why is that the case? It's because Republicans control the police, because a bunch of psycho-conservatives control the police, because people like my grandfather, who was super, super racist from Yale. Like, I'm telling you, no one in my life has ever been as racist as my grandfather. I'm just saying, like, those are the people that control the police. Those are the people that are fighting to maintain censorship of me, to hide that they're actually very, very conflicted about their morals, because conservatives want to have sex in threesomes and stuff like that. Apparently, Idaho is where there are 2 Republican senators, there's a Republican governor, but the women like watching women have sex with themselves. Solo masturbation. I mean, at some point we all have to go, what is wrong with these Republicans? Like, are they mentally ill? They have conversations with Jesus in their head all the time. Like, they have a relationship with Jesus. Are they mentally ill? Yes, they are. Are their morals making them a bunch of fucked up people in their heads? Yes, they are. What are we going to do about it? Nothing. Because we're not cops. Because people like me aren't cops. The people that are cops are a bunch of psychopaths. So how can we figure out how to get the cops to stop the cops? I don't know, but that's why I'm contacting enough of them. I mean, that's why I've sent out, probably like 800, 900 letters right now. I'm about to send out another 100 today. And then I'll have sent out all 1,000. But I don't know what to do. All I know is I've got to go get ready for a competency evaluation. Colorado Springs wants me to not be able to be involved with my legal defense because of what I'm saying, because what I've said is that you're a bunch of psychopaths. And Vince Niski needs to be fired. And this judge needs to be in prison. But who knows what will happen? I'm going to go get ready.